Yo, good day, beautiful people. Come here today on a serious note. I mean, it's normally on a serious note, but at the same time, I'm trying not to be too serious about it because life goes on and it is life. But all that I talk about, all that I discuss, is with a view. It's my form of activism with a view to helping shape reality in a better way. Because I'll be honest, I've been studying the so-called New World Order for a long time, since at least like 2006, so that's approaching 20 years. And the New World Order is, as far as I'm concerned, is just a term. And I've always perceived it from day one that the New World Order doesn't have to be a negative thing. A New World Order is plain and simply that. It's a new world order. It's a new world. It's that. It's a new world order. A new order of the world. And that order could be lots of things. The order could be, you put an order in when you go to a restaurant. So it can be a request. It could also be something you're told to do. It can be an arrangement, So a new world order is loose, and as a consequence, my objective is to make a new world order. I'm part of the new world order, but not the new world order that is the renowned one, the one of control. I've seen the thing where they get NWO, which is acronym for New World Order, and you spell it backwards and it says own. And I'm into that kind of thing because I go about the upside down and all that kind of stuff and hidden messages. So I find that interesting. I don't know if it's by design or if it's just synchronistic, but it's there. But as I said, my New World Order is exactly that. It's my New World Order, and people that are on my wavelength. It's the way I want the world to be, not the way they're trying to make the world be. So I'm for a new world order, and basically we have to take responsibility, as I've alluded to in previous videos. Of responsibility is the ability to respond. So here we are now. I feel we're at a pivotal point, because as I said, for all I've been studying, all I've been seeing, all I've been saying, we are now at a point where it's becoming an actual reality. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about digital IDs, because that is very much in the news at the moment. So I hear, I say so I hear because I don't watch the news, I don't listen, but I haven't done for a long time, because I kind of feel that 20 years ago I got the news report that just makes sense of all the news since. So you don't need to watch the news, because the news is just agenda, basically. And if you know the agenda, then you know the news. So I've been aware of all this immigration nonsense and all this divide and conquer racial stirring and all the flags on the roundabouts and all that nonsense, and I know that it's just people being pawns in a bigger game. But, and there's a big but, that bigger game that you're being played at, because you are just being played if you're playing in it, is now become, I think, very clear. Because now it's coming out that the way to combat the situation is through a digital ID. And to me, that's just I don't know, it's just so obvious. It is so obvious. And not only is it obvious that that's what they want to do, the fact that it's so obvious that's what they want to do makes it obvious that the whole thing is probably orchestrated in the first place, because it was obviously leading here, and it's just so predictable. It's scary. But, and I keep on using that but, I like big buts. Yeah, it's a big but. I think we're at a point where it seems scary where we're at and where we're headed. But I take solace from this. Because, as I said, the New World Order is not theirs, it's ours. And I feel now that I could be deluded, I could be just overly optimistic. And this is the funny thing, as I said before about the upside down, is that when you present this information to people, it's perceived as negative. But I actually think it's positive. And this is where you see the positive. Is I am not scared. I am scared, but I am not completely fearful, or I'm not defeated. Let's say that. I'm not defeated. I strongly believe that we can still win, that we can create this new world order. And this digital ID, we're saying for a long time that they've been gradually taking the mask off. I said it before the scamdemic, I said it during the scamdemic, after the scamdemic. They're just revealing themselves more and more and more. It's not hidden anymore. It's not hidden in plain sight, it's just in plain sight. And this is now clear as day. And a bit like I said back in the scamdemic, I was never quite sure if it was an act of absolute arrogance and confidence, their brazenness about it, or is it an act of desperation? You know, this almost being too clear about their agenda to the point that they're just desperate to pull it off. They got like these time scales, like it used to be Agenda 21, now it's Agenda 2030. So they when they put out the time scale, they're under pressure. It's like a deadline. And yeah, they're obviously desperate to bring this about, and there's so many different steps to it, but this digital ID is the big step. It's here's the nail in the coffin now. It's the glue that holds everything else together. I go back to the upside down again, because the digital ID will be sold to you as enhancing your ability to operate within the world. It's enhancing your freedoms and making your life easier. But that's the upside down, because it's not. It absolutely isn't. It's going to make your life harder. And the digital ID, basically, it's not you. So even that is an upside down. It's not going to empower you. It's going to give rights to your identification, be it whatever that is. Your digital ID is exactly that. It's a digital avatar that operates within this digital world. It's not you in the real world. So your digital avatar will start to have more rights than you, because your digital avatar will be what operates within the digital world. So for example, we already have it in a lot of ways, and it kind of exists, within your phone. Like, it's getting increasingly hard to do stuff without your phone now. If you don't have it, I had to renew my driver's license the other day, and when I did, I had to go through this new process where basically it was like a biometric kind of thing, I guess, where I had to do some sort of face scan. And it was sold to me that this is a simple, quick, easy way to do it. There was another way to do it, but unfortunately we are all victims of this world in that way. The convenience is the big trap, and I didn't have the time. I had to do it quickly. To be honest, my license had expired for about 2 months, so I've been putting it off. I got to do this now, because I'm literally driving around without a license. So I had to renew it, but because you had to go through this process with the phone, I've got a smartphone, and I don't like it, but once again, I have to function, and I get the balance from having a smartphone from doing things like this. This is my justification. I can only justify being complicit in the new world order, or the technocracy, by knowing that the weapons that they have can be weapons for us too. So my smartphone is not just a tracking device that's tracking me, it's also the weapon that I'm using. I'm using the internet, I'm using my phone, I'm using my computer, I'm using the media propaganda. All these things that are being used against us, I'm using back against them. That's my upside down once again. I'm using the weapons of choice back. So anyway, yes, I have a phone, but I have a phone out of necessity. And my phone basically was not new enough for me to renew my driver's license, which became a right palaver. So I had to do it on my wife's phone instead. And that was just there's a little hint to the nature of things that I think we're heading into, where I wasn't able to do a simple thing because my phone is not as new as it should be. And that, I said that from COVID, all that stuff, that's the world they're building. And when you got Bill Gates involved, it's Microsoft. And I think in a nutshell, the world they're building is a access denied, upgrade downgrade kind of society, where you need to constantly upgrade your system to operate within the system. You need to get a new operating system. I think that was the whole point of all these boosters. I think that's the whole point of like all this tech and all this tech surveillance, and basically you have to remain compatible, and you remain compatible by your tech. And the digital ID will be a form of this. You will have to remain compatible. And there's many different ways in which you will remain compatible, I think. It will not just be a case of having to get a new card or a new phone or whatever their form of this ID is. It will be a case of it having stored information, and that information will be used against you. So I think in a nutshell, this digital ID is leading to what I call a access denied society, because that is what's going to come. And you can see how they're building it around us so much already. And this, like I said, this is just the big step. So, you know, you see it in all these science fiction films. You hear that word, access denied. Access denied. That's what we're building. That's what we're coming. It's not going to give you a freedom to operate. It's going to deny you access within the parameters that they set. And I seen like a little news clip yesterday, and it makes me sick. These media people make me sick, because it's always the same shit that they pull out. So there was actually voices of opposition to the digital ID on this little clip I seen, and they was making valid points. But then the presenter, these prostitutes, they always make this point. So a lot of people would say, if you've got nothing to hide, then what's the problem? And they didn't really answer that question, but it's plain and simple. It's not a case of having something to hide, because the terms and conditions are subject to change. And I don't like that whole argument anyway about privacy and having something to hide. We all are entitled to privacy. You know, if you've got nothing to hide, then put a glass window in your bathroom. You know, put your toilet in your greenhouse. Have your shower in your greenhouse. Don't have any curtains. Don't have any blinds. Because that's what we're doing. I read a book a while back. I think it's called We or something, some Russian book. It's along the similar lines to like Brave New World and 1984, stuff like that. And I've read so much stuff that I kind of forget what I read, but I think that was the concept in there of them sort of living in glass houses, and it was obviously inspired from the Russian communism and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, we all need privacy. It's not a case of having something to hide. It's a case of just, it's your God-given right to privacy. We're entitled, and we don't need to have to explain ourselves. And to explain ourselves to who? You know, who and why? Because, like I said, the terms and conditions are subject to change, and they get this in, and then next thing you know, there's a change of policy. I always refer to it as science fiction, because I think that's a preview of where we're going. And I always give an example, say with like Alexa, and I don't like this, all these microphones. I know that my phone's a microphone and I'm constantly carrying it around, but things like Alexa, to me, it's just moronic. You've got this microphone sat there in your house, some AI robot, whatever it is, basically hooked up to the grid, constantly listening to you. Once again, it's the convenience. It's not convenient having your every word being sent to who knows where. But people get roped in. But, you know, even things like Alexa, I don't know if anyone's seen the film Demolition Man, because I always remember that film as a it's very insightful, and it's got so much that is basically previewing exactly where we're at and where we're going. But they have the thing in there where every time you swear, you receive a fine, which I think is like, we're going that way. But how would they bring that about? Alexa. That's how they bring that about, because they're constantly listening to you. So they put that into everybody's house, and then you say something out of line, you know, I say, shit, well, you have been fined 1 credit for a verbal, you know, credit. See, I need to watch this film again, because they talk about the social credit. This is what it's all leading to, the ID, it's the social credit. And that's how they get you. So once it's all tied together, and you've got your Alexa in your house listening to you, and you've got your smart everything monitoring your every move, it's going to be monitoring, like, look how we're getting, like, you know, stupid mundane things like our rubbish collection, and now we're constantly, like, they're changing the policy, making it harder and harder. The bins are getting smaller, and the time scales that they pick them up in, and the things that you're supposed to put away, and all that rubbish literally. But it's going to get to the point where you have some smart bin, and it's monitoring what you put in your bin, and then if you're not good, you're going to get fined 1 credit, you know. So that's where we're going, and the scrutiny is forever increasing, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous because the lunatics are running the asylum. So the policy becomes lunacy, and it already is. You know, we've got, like, you know, I'm just driving down the road now, and there's like roadworks everywhere, and it looks like they're just building a cycle lane. You know, I've got nothing against cycling, fair play to people that cycle, but it's a real imbalance of the amount of money that's been invested in cycling, because it's not a reality that most people can do. People can't cycle to and from work. People can't, you know, just where I live is hills. People can't cycle up and down them hills. I haven't got time to have a shower when they get to work, and you know, what am I supposed to do? I'm a man with a van. Am I supposed to cycle and deliver people's, you know, because that's what they're trying to do. I see people with them massive things behind, like trailers behind their bikes, and that's what they're trying to do. Like, oh, just go collect your sofa on the bike. It's not a reality. It's not a reality. It's disproportionate. But that's what's being invested in, and they're, you know, we're supposed to be broke as a society, but at the same time we're investing all this money in nonsense. So that's the policy. The policy that's coming. It's out of touch. It's all agenda driven, and it's only getting worse. And once you give them that power of the digital ID, we are fucked. So it can't happen. It cannot happen. As I said, I don't think it will happen, because I think it's too obvious now. So I'm going to take solace from that. But I'll take solace on the back, not to get, like, complacent about it. It's not going to happen because I'm not going to allow it to happen. And a lot of people will not allow it to happen. And I'm confident that we will win. Like I said, this is 432. That's what I'm about. And the digital ID represents the absolute opposite of that. It is not freedom. It is enslavement. Absolute enslavement. Enslavement to technocracy, to technology, and to technical tyrants and technical tyranny, where your phone will have more rights than you. Your microchip will have more rights than you. That's what the whole point of it being a digital ID. A digital ID means your identification and your ID will be operating through a digital realm, in a digital world. And that is going to be at the expense of you in the real world. Because you will only operate, the digital ID will only operate in the digital world. And that's not where we live, and it's not where I want to live, and it's not where I'm going to live, and it's not where my children are going to live. So, big no to the digital ID. Big no. Let's not let it happen. Let's remember the New World Order is ours to shape, and let's shape it. Because this is getting serious now, really serious. But like I said, I'm not gonna get scared. I'm not gonna give in to the fear. I'm gonna get motivated. I'm gonna feel empowered by this understanding of where we're at. Because we are on the precipice, we are on the edge, but like I said, New World Order is ours to shape. So let's shape it, and let's shape it good. Let's shape it well, and let's make sure that we're heading in a good direction. Yeah, peace and love, everybody. This is 432, and I am for free, and I give in for free, and I am for freedom, and I hope you are too, because we need to be. We're not digital robots. All right. So, ciao.